Some things are built to last. Tested by the elements, proven by time, engineered for whatever comes next. Summertown Metals. Strength in every storm. Building dreams that last.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather at noon.
Well, good Friday afternoon. Taylor Plott here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with a check on your latest forecast. We're watching showers and storms out there right now. Nothing is severe. We have no severe warnings, no severe watches in effect for our area right now. That might change, though, later on today. Again, main risks that we're watching are damaging winds and large hail. The tornado risk today and tomorrow is very, very low. It's not zero, but it is something that we'll keep a very close eye on, especially if any storm tries to misbehave and start to rotate just a little bit. Let's take it over to Links 2 real quick. I'll show you what's going on with the radar, and we're watching again a lot of showers and storms that are across the area as we hit the noon hour today, and that will continue to be the case over the next several hours. Our primary focus is not only going to just be what's going on this afternoon, but what transpires this evening. There's a chance that there could be an MCS that develops off to our north and tracks on through during the late evening hours. So that's something that we're watching. But right now, the only hefty cells that we have on the radar are actually up here north of the Nashville metro area, up towards Clarksville, Tennessee, close to the Kentucky border. A lot of lightning with these. We're going to have a lot of instability. It's very hot out there. Temperatures are already getting close to 90 degrees. So there's going to be a lot of lightning with these storms today, so just keep that in mind. If you hear thunder and you're outdoors, go ahead and just seek shelter, head inside, and let that storm pass. Elsewhere, just in our neck of the woods, there's really not a lot going on. We did have a special weather statement. You probably saw that crawling across the bottom of your screen earlier for this little cell that was in Morgan County. That was a very, very small cell to begin with, no lightning, so that one's not really packing any punch whatsoever. But again, we're watching all of these develop across the area or back things out. I'll switch on to the radar network, show you kind of a big perspective, if we will. And again, watching those storms bubble up across Tennessee. We are watching the stuff off to the west. I don't think that's going to really impact our area if it starts firing off more storms near Little Rock. I think if that happens, it would end up being south of our area, tracking south of our area. So again, our main focus is just going to be what's going on with all of these storms right here. And if we get an MCS that develops off towards the north up here later on today and tracks in towards the south later on this evening. So again, that's kind of a big overview you got of the radar right now. Nothing concerning on the radar, and that will hopefully continue to be the case throughout the remainder of the day today. But of course, we'll watch for any storms that try to misbehave out there, and we'll be right on here in a moment's notice in case there is a warning that is issued. All right, let's get into your forecast. Live look from our Arctic Air Skycam network showing a lot of cloud cover, still some peaks of sun here and there. And even with a lot of this cloud cover, we're warming up very nicely. There's places that are already getting to that 90-degree mark, even seeing some locations that are getting above 90 degrees. I saw like a 91 and 92-degree reading across kind of some of the not official forecaster observations, if you will, but kind of some home weather stations, if you will, that are getting into the lower 90s today. So even though we have a lot of cloud cover around, it's still warming up very nicely. Here is a live look at those temperatures. Already 87 in Huntsville, 89 in Athens, 89 in Florence. There is some observations that are getting up towards 90 in the Florence area in the Shoals, 86 in Fayetteville, 88 in Lewisburg, 86 here in Lawrenceburg. And as long as we continue to have that limited coverage of showers and storms, these temperatures will continue to warm up. So I do expect at least a couple more degrees to be showing on some of those observations. So very, very warm, very muggy today, feeling a lot like summertime out there on June 6th on this Friday. As we look at the radar satellite composite, I already showed you all those showers and storms off to our north. That's generally popping up right along a stationary boundary And again, that's going to end up being the focal point for that possible MCS that tries to develop and move through later on tonight. Whether where you live, temperatures, like I mentioned, getting up into the upper 80s to near 90 with that chance at some showers and storms across the area today. They're already developing the chance that it might actually hit your spot. 87 degrees in Lewisburg, 87 in Fayetteville, 87 in Lawrenceburg across northern Alabama today. Upper 80s to lower 90s expected again with the shower and storm chances. Let's go through your Futurecast. And we're going to start things off here about 2 o'clock. We're going to continue to see those showers and storms blossom across the area. Some of the coverage could get very widespread later on this afternoon. I will say that this model does not really show that MCS. There's others that do show it. That would end up possibly being around 9 to 10 p.m. tonight. What it does show is it does show a little bit of a cluster right here. So it's trying to pinpoint a little bit of that kind of MCS idea maybe. I think that's a little too early though. That's 6 p.m. So again, we'll watch this area for southern Tennessee around 9 to 10 p.m. for a possible MCS, and that would eventually track into northern Alabama during the late evening hours. So we'll continue to hold on with those shower and storm chances throughout the late evening. Even into the overnight, some spotty showers will likely develop once again off of some residual boundaries. But our next focus is going to be what happens with this at noon tomorrow. There will likely be another cluster of showers and storms that develop off to our west. The question is, where exactly is the placement of this? Is it up here into more middle and southern Tennessee as it shows here? Others have shown it's down here across parts of northern Mississippi, northwestern Alabama. So wherever this develops, it will impact northern Alabama or southern Tennessee. And again, like what we've mentioned over the past several days, this kind of 3-day stretch, if you will, is going to be a domino effect where what happens today impacts what happens tomorrow. What happens tomorrow impacts what happens on Sunday. So what happens today will likely impact where that possible cluster MCS tries to track on through. Tonight, again, like I mentioned, we hold on to our shower and storm chances. Temperatures dropping down into the upper 60s and lower 70s. For your Saturday, a lot of rain and cloud storm activity around. So that's going to keep our temperatures on the lower end of things, expecting more lower 80s as opposed to mid and upper 80s. Rain chances over the next 7 days. Best shot is going to be today, tomorrow. Still a decent shot for your Sunday. Sunday, though, it looks like the bulk of the activity will remain off to our south. And then we just kind of hang on to that kind of scattered type of percentages here. 40% for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. There is some uncertainty in the model guidance on how widespread some of that activity will be because we'll have kind of a washed out stalled frontal boundary across the south. So wherever that actually stalls, that's going to have the best chance of seeing showers and storms. All right, let's talk about your severe risk in greater detail here. We still have that level 2 out of 5 here for today and tonight. That's that slight risk. Same thing for your Saturday, level 2 out of 5, slight risk. And then on Sunday, we drop it down to a level 1 out of 5, that marginal risk. All of these storms will be capable of producing some damaging winds anywhere from 50 to 60, maybe 65 miles per hour, and some hail. There's also kind of a lower flooding risk as well. We are watching the chance at a very, very low-end tornado risk that tries to develop today and tomorrow. We're not expecting any big tornado activity or for any day, whether it's Friday or today, Saturday, or even on Sunday, but it's something that we'll just have to watch very closely in case a brief one tries to develop. Sometimes some of those storms take a mind of their own and they try to rotate and they could produce a brief one possibly. So it's something that we're watching, not overly concerned though about it. All right, let's get into the rest of your forecast here going beyond Sunday. So Sunday, we're continuing to watch those storms generally off to our south. Our next chance will be on Monday afternoon with another cold front trying to sneak on through. And that's that boundary that I mentioned that just kind of lays itself across the southeast, kind of washes out. And so that kind of residual boundary you see here with multiple showers and storms trying to fire up along it. So that's why we hold on to those rain chances as we get into the middle of next week. Right now, that 40%. So then they could either go up and down just depending on how the forecast guidance looks over the next coming days. But again, our main concern is today and tomorrow with that chance for those strong and severe storms. So keep checking back with us here at the Tennessee Valley Weather Center for the latest latest. And of course, if there is a warning that is issued, we'll be on here in a moment's notice to give you the latest information on that. Again, for Sunday, I know that panel's not red, but still cannot completely rule out an isolated severe storm on your Sunday. Again, I think the best chance of that will end up being off to our south, but just something to keep a close eye on. And temperatures, after today, it's going to generally be slightly below average for the next several days, with mid and low 80s expected, 82s on Tuesday and Wednesday, again with those chances for those showers and storms. That's your latest forecast here from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Fred Gossage will be in at 5 p.m. to give another update on the current situation with the storms, and we'll have another update on your 7-day forecast. Until then, I hope everybody has a fantastic Friday afternoon.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.